Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, good morning.
So I think maybe let's just give maybe 5 minutes additional time so that before we commence to ensure other members can join and other people. And the meeting is currently recorded. So we're having connectivity issues trying to link the YouTube Live or Facebook Live because we're going to be using the same. But however, we would see how we can make provision for the recording. So those who don't get to participate or watch on this live session will have the access to the recording via my YouTube channel. I'll share the link and anyone that is interested would have access to it and revise over it. So up to you, Dr. Danmallan.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam.
Good morning, all. You are welcome to this webinar on step-by-step guide to the application of Commonwealth Distance Learning Scholarship, brought to you by the Readers Hub and the LACUNAE. The title is focusing on distance learning scholarship, but we'll still have an overview of the scholarship in general, other scholarship, and what you need to uh, be successful in your application for your scholarship generally. So we still have the overview, then we narrow down to the Commonwealth Distance Learning Scholarship. This is because it is one of the scholarships that is currently ongoing. It started about, I think, 2 weeks ago, and it will close on March 15th. So we want to focus on that while giving a highlight of others. The procedures are pretty much similar in some cases, with some differences on some other places. So like I said earlier, um, this is brought to you by the Readers Hub and the LACUNAE. This webinar is a continuation of the effort by other people, other associations that are trying to raise awareness about these opportunities that abound, and in which our people, some are not aware of it, some are aware of them, but they are not putting the right effort to take advantage of these opportunities. The most recent one was the webinar by the Nigerian Muslim Forum UK about 2 weeks ago, I think, about 2 hour webinar, which is very rich in all you need to know about these scholarships in general. I would encourage us, those that have not attended that webinar, to still go and watch the recordings. You can search on their Facebook page, NMF UK, Nigerian Muslim Forum UK. It's there on their Facebook, or like my Facebook page, I shared it, so you can still watch. It's pretty much very important. You get acquainted with the general overview of what the scholarships are, how you secure them, and what you need to put in the effort. So this is continuation of those those efforts. We are now trying to see, okay, for each opportunity that comes around, how do we bring further the awareness to the people, and then guide them on what they need to do to secure such opportunities. And we're trying to see, for each opportunity, we'll look for the people that have benefited from such opportunities, so they have the right experience and the expertise to guide us through. So this is what we are trying to do. That is why we are now focusing on the distance learning scholarship, as it is currently ongoing. And the Readers Hub, it's some of you might be wondering what is Readers Hub, what is the LACUNAE. So the Readers Hub is an intellectual hangout and reading club that tries to improve reading culture into society and facilitate personal growth and development of individuals, and by extension, improving the society. And this is briefly about Readers Hub, and it's based in Katsina currently, and then branches are sprouting in from other places. Like in Daura, we have one already, and then I will also having some other branches in other places. And the LACUNAE, it's a hub of professionals who gather for productivity and development. And it is founded by Dr. Abdulhamid Said, who, in his wisdom, having gotten this opportunity, he tried to bring together some people so that you share the experience and guide people to get these opportunities, both scholarship and study and job opportunities. We are grateful for his generosity and selflessness. I am one of those that he put through to successful application of the scholarship. We want people like this. Anywhere you see any opportunity, don't just restrict it to yourself or your close group. No, spread the news. Let people be aware of it, so that other people also benefit. That is one way that we all grow and develop together. So thank you all for coming in. So just a bit of housekeeping rules. We encourage anyone that is not speaking to mute his mic, so that we can have a quieter place and then smooth presentations. Okay, so we are having three scholars, myself, Dr. Abdulhamid, and then Malam Yushau Sani, and I'll be the host, while Malam Yushau Sani will start the presentation with general overview of what the scholarships are and what you need to succeed. Then thereafter, Dr. Abdulhamid will narrow down to the distance learning scholarship and walk us through step by step on the application process. And then the last 30 minutes, we use it to answer questions, and then also give opportunity for comment from other people in the on the call. I will believe there will be many people that have experience and would like to get their experience to share. Like them to share their experience with us, so that we all benefit. I thank you all for coming in. So I would now like to start with Malam Yushau Sani. Sunes, are you in? Can't see you.
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay. Thank you very much. You are welcome, sir. Yushau Sani is a young scientist with more than 7 years of professional experience in various roles in the information technology industry, in climate change activism, and academic communities. He has strong passion for working with novel innovations, data science, addressing critical community and global issues, and educating the next generation of technology users and innovators. He has won various awards, scholarships, and prizes for innovating technology. He loves learning new skills. He's currently a Commonwealth Fellow, and he also recently got a University of Stirling scholarship to study MSc Data Science. Yushau is one person that always inspires me. He has, I forgot his background, but his background undergraduate degree is not on computer science or information technology, but he has transformed himself because of that passion into the mainstream information technology field. He has developed many apps. He was invited to the climate change summit in UK last year, and then he is also working on his Commonwealth Fellowship next month. Thank you very much, Sunais, for coming. I will now leave the floor for you to give us the general overview. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Danmallan. Dr. Danmallan, you have been, you are the inspirator. You are the one giving us courage to actually become whatever we become. Leaders Hope has been, a great place, a great avenue for people like people in Katsina, and we are really, we are so much grateful for the opportunity that you have given us. And one thing I will say before I start, the Commonwealth Fellowship, I actually saw it in the Readers Hope group. So that was where I actually got the opportunity. I saw the opportunity and take advantage of that. So we don't have much time. Yeah, we don't have much time. I think I will start with the overview of the Commonwealth. So Commonwealth, we know that is an organization. Commonwealth is a country organization, like multiple countries come together to form the I think about 53 countries that form the Commonwealth itself, that is based in the UK. So they have various activities, and one of which is the scholarship that is handled by the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission, CSC. So they have various type of scholarships that they offer. There is the PhD scholarship that is given for the least countries and fragile states. There is the Commonwealth Split Site Scholarship. There is the Commonwealth Masters Scholarship. There is Commonwealth Shared Scholarships, the Commonwealth Distance Learning Scholarship, and the Commonwealth Professional Fellowships. So these are actually the scholarships that the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission offers. So today the focus is on the Commonwealth Distance Learning Scholarship, but we'll talk briefly about the others because they have pretty much or similar application process. So if you have a good understanding of this distance learning scholarship, it will pave a way for you to apply for the others. So the Commonwealth PhD scholarship and the Commonwealth Master Scholarship is unique with the others because it is the nomination or the selection process is actually done by some organization different with the scholarship. It's different with the Commonwealth itself. The PhD scholarship is either done by non-governmental bodies or government national bodies like universities and others. So for the PhD, I think in Nigeria we have some universities. I think about 20 of them. There are many. I think, but in the north, those that are close to us that we can submit application, I think is Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Benue State University, then Federal University of Technology, Mina, then Kano State University, Wudil. I think the University of Jos. I think these are the universities that one can apply for the scholarship. Can apply for the scholarship for the PhD. The same thing for the MSc. But the Commonwealth Split Site Scholarship is actually a PhD scholarship itself that enables you to travel to UK for research purpose. So you are undergoing a PhD, and you needed to carry out a particular type of research that you might not be able to do in Nigeria, in your home country. So you can apply for the Commonwealth Split Site Scholarship that will enable you to travel to UK to go and undergo your PhD research, which is usually 1 year period maximum. So, and then the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship is a master's scholarship. It's an MSc scholarship, but that has a shared responsibility between the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission and the hosting universities. So and the hosting universities. And then the Commonwealth Distance Learning Scholarship, is this scholarship, to enable you to also have a master's degree, various topics, but kind of a distance learning, open learning, that you don't have to travel to other country. You stay and, from your own country, using computers and other technological device, you undergo the master's. And then the last one, which is the Commonwealth Professional Fellowship, this is kind of unique with the others, and that was the one I got. Actually, it's not a study like the others. It's a kind of a professional exchange, professional exchange program. You are into a certain program, or you are into a certain area, and you want to exchange your idea with others, with other Commonwealth countries. So that professional fellowship give you that enable you to do that. So they used to have teams based on years. I think even the other scholarship are based on teams. Some years they focus about technological advancement. Some years talking about political policies. So some years talk about rights, human rights. So there are actually there used to be teams for scholarship every year. So if it happens that the professional fellowships fall upon your work, your area, then I think they can then one can actually go for it. Like this year is on girls education, girls child education, and I'm going related to some work that I'm doing on inclusion of girls into ICT. So I think this is the general overview of types of the Commonwealth scholarship. Then I would like to talk about one thing before we go to the next session, which is the selection criteria. How can you be selected for the Commonwealth? What are they looking at actually to select you? I think this is a very important something. Let me, I think, share my screen so that we talk about it. So can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. So this is from Commonwealth, and they look at three things basically for the selection. There is academic merit, and if someone is applying for PhD, then the quality of the research proposal, and for those going for MSc, then their study plan, and then developmental impact. I think this developmental impact carry a very good scope, even more than academic merit. So but for the academic merit, is examination results from the transcript, like what CGPA one has and what have you. But actually, this one doesn't count very much. It doesn't count very much. I think a lot of people with 2 degree have been getting this kind of scholarship, even some with third class. So depending on the quality of the study plans and the developmental impact that someone is having. So added to, maybe if one has a good academic record, added to that, they also consider academic prizes or awards. or some other academic achievement and research publications. You know, these things are very, very good, and that one don't need to play with this. If someone has, you know, has been a first position in the class, or someone has ever have any award, he should not undermine that. Just include that. I think one conclude as many as 10. So we should look at that. And then for the PhD, what they look at, declare abstract. Abstract is usually a brief, you know, a brief one paragraph introduction of your research and what is expected to be outcome of one research. So how clear is the research, and how well someone understand his research, how much literature one has reviewed to have a very good understanding of the research that he is proposing in his PhD. And then the quality of the research proposal. So it's not actually just any form of research. They look at the research that is relevant to community. So I think if someone will come up with a research that is directly affecting people in Nigeria or in Katsina or his own local community, it will be very, very much, it will be very, very much like good for him than to come with a very complex research that is not applicable to Nigeria, or maybe the research outcome will not be of a higher beneficial to Nigeria or his community. If you can narrow down your community, your research to your own community, it will be even much more better than taking something that is complex. And then the secondary indicators that is added to this other primary. So looking at the clarity of expression, how well do you express yourself, can handle this particular research, and then feasibility of the research. So the research, is it something that can be achieved, or is it just something that is based on imagination, like it has not been done, and there is no any clear position that the research can be done. And then the another one is the years of completion, that can the research be completed within that 3 periods of research, or maybe if you are for the split site award, which is 1 year, how possible it is that you can be able to carry out or handle your research within that within that 1 year. So, and then for the masters, which is not which has not based on the scholarship, they look at the personal statement, and personal statement is like how you express yourself about the course that you want to study and the relationship of the teams that you have chosen. For example, if you are working on a climate change, for example, like and you choose a particular course that has to do with the climate change. So in your personal statement, what experience do you have that has to do with the climate change? What have you done related to climate change, and what do you want to do? What do you want to do in that area of climate change that this particular study, will help you, achieve that particular goals that you set in climate change. So that is a statement. I think this statement is very, very important. A lot of universities will not even give you admission without a very good, concrete personal statement. So the same thing with the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission. And then what is your study, what is your study plan? How do you plan to, to have a successful studies while studying? And then do you have a particular topic of which you want to research? And then how well do you also have understanding of the particular research that you want to carry out in your masters? And then added to this, the secondary one is that for the masters, one must secure admission differently from the university. So the Commonwealth have some universities that they already have MOU with. So you go through the list of the universities that they have MOU, and you apply the admission separately. So you need to have the admission before you have that particular scholarship. So even if you have succeeded in getting the scholarship, but unfortunately you couldn't get admission, that is also that is a problem. I think the second speaker will go through us about getting the admission in the getting the admission in the universities. Then clarity of presentations, like how well do you present your activities, what you want to do and how you want to do it, and after you have the outcome, what then how then is going to contribute to the community. Then the last one, which is the developmental impact. So if you look at the previous the previous things that we have done, that we have talked, the other criteria, they are all related with this developmental impact. Because when they are looking at whether you have some award, whether you have some achievement, whether you have some publications, they all see how it is related with the developmental impact, like what you are doing or what you are planning to do. The same thing with your research and PhD or your personal statement. They are all looking at how well is related, to development, like to the team that you study, and how well it's going to, have a developmental, impact to your community, to your country, or your down to your community. So this is a very important key. I searched for one document that I see the scoring. So I think each of the two you do have like 30% scores, but this particular one has a 40% score. So if you are filling your form when you come to this particular area that you want to provide developmental impact, I think what you need to be very, very, careful, and you need to, take time to make sure that you provide adequate information. So and what they look at is in the developmental impact that your study plan, just you see that it is related to the other one, and then your research. So what is your study plan and what is your research, and how is this study plan and your research affected the team? Like how is it how is it related to your team, to what you are doing, to the developmental project that you are doing in your country, or to what you want to do in your country, how related it is. How related it is. I think in that particular section, they will even there are even some questions that is asking for a short-term plan, like short-term developmental plan, what you want to achieve in 3 months, and what you may likely achieve in 1 year or 2 years also, and then what you want to achieve in 5 years. So they all want you to talk about the area that you selected, that you selected, the course that you want to study, that you are applying for the scholarship. What problem do you have in your community that has to do with that particular course, and how do you intend to use that particular knowledge that you are learning, during the scholarship in solving that particular, problem, that problem, and also, and you need to express how this particular, when you come up with a solution, maybe through your research and what have you, or the skills that you acquire during the studies, how well are you going to use it? How beneficiary, like how is it going to benefit the society? How is it going to benefit your nation or your country, or what you do so far? So added to this is reference to a national developmental priority, like what your country, your country is actually suffering from. Are you trying to solve something that is really affected your community, that's really affecting your community, that require immediate attention? For example, that you are in Nigeria and somehow in Katsina here, if there is maybe a course that has to do with maybe security, what have you, and you show how the security challenges, and when you have that, that is kind of the security problem or security challenges that we have in Katsina here in Nigeria is a kind of a national priority problem. So if you come up with you're studying a course that is similar to that, and you come up with a lot of information on how you intend to use that particular skill to actually address that. So they are actually looking into that. So if one is selecting his team, it is very good that he make research, look at the problems that are currently priority in Nigeria or in his community. I think that will help a lot in terms of the selection process. So I think that is that is all for this selection procedure. And and I think I've talked about the general overview. So I cover my session 30 minutes. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Malam Yushau Sani. We are very grateful for the overview. And for those that join late, Malam Yushau Sani is a 2025 Commonwealth Fellow, a University of Stirling scholar, and enjoys many other scholarship and prizes and grants. With the right attitude, with the right effort, these things are within anyone's grasp. Any one of us can get it. Now, just trying to recap what he said and then emphasize some other point he mentioned. Why are these scholarships given? Is it that people just have too much money and then they throw it out? Okay, anyone that wants to study, give him the opportunity to do that. Anyone that can't afford to study, give him the opportunity. I think no. The answer is no. It's meant for a purpose. One, there are some people that cannot afford this opportunity, study opportunities. Even in the UK, US, it's not easy even for their citizens to study postgraduate degrees. It's not easy. You spend about £20,000, $30,000, a lot of money, 10, 15, 20 million naira to study for a master's degree. It's not easy. So they recognize this, therefore they try to give the opportunity that people, especially the lower and middle income countries, to get this opportunity to study. And then they don't just pick anyone, no. Okay, the resources are scarce. So they're looking for who are those people that merit this? Who are those people that if we empower them, they will go back to empower their people, their community, their countries? Who are those people that if they are empowered, they get the knowledge, the skills, the world will be a better place? These are the people that they are looking for. That's why they will mention the development teams. Okay, you look at the world, what is happening? The whole world is talking about SDG. Look at the SDG. Okay, where do you come in? How do you solve one of those problems, the 17 goals of the SDG? Okay, the UK priorities, if it is the UK you are applying for, okay, they have their own foreign policy priorities. What problems are they looking for to tackle in the world? Okay, what are their own policy priorities related to your own country or your region? In Africa, in Nigeria, they are looking for those people to solve problems, to make the world a better place. That's why they will not just pick anyone, but they want that person to get want to get those people that really merit that. Then, now, if you are qualified, you really know that you can solve a problem, you have idea, you cannot get this without communicating. You must communicate clearly to them that yes, you are the best person to get that opportunity. You are worth being spent all the money that they will spend. You are worth that resources and effort, and you have to write. It's easy. So I think, in summary, one thing that are holding our people back is the mindset. So people think we cannot get, there's too much competition. 10,000 people are looking for five slots. No, imagine you are anywhere you see opportunity, you imagine that definitely it's yours. Your own is just you have the right of first refusal. Unless you don't want it, it will go to the next person. So put that mindset that it is possible, you are good enough to get it, and then put the right attitude, positive attitude, put the right effort. Just simple essays, people will be complaining, they don't know how to write it, they will not sit down and think and write it. They have the experience, the community service, everything. So please, these are the attitude we need. The right attitude, the right mindset, you will get this. Put the right effort. We are all good enough to get these opportunities, and they are there abundant. Just you to put the right effort. So we'll go on to the next presenter, Dr. Abdulhamid Saidu Yaro, to give us the overview now on the step-by-step guide to the Commonwealth Distance Learning Scholarship application. Please get your jotters, jot the main point, so that at the end of the day, we'll still recall what was discussed, and the action point that you go after the webinar, you go on to start acting on. Okay. Dr. Abdulhamid, I'm trying to get his introduction. Okay. Dr. Abdulhamid Yaro Saidu has a master's degree in health economics from Bayero University, Kano. He's a second-year MPH student at University of Edinburgh. That is from the Commonwealth Distance Learning Scholarship he got in 2020. And then he's a medical doctor, a public health enthusiast with 4 years experience working with public, private, and non-governmental organizations in aspects regarding to infectious diseases, maternal and child health, and research. He's a lecturer, Department of Community Medicine, Faculty of Clinical Sciences, Federal University, Dutse, Jigawa State. He is the founder of LACUNAE, the LACUNAE, a hub of professionals who gather for productivity and development. He used to call it that the LACUNAE is in demo mode, but I would like to object. It's in full force, it's working. I am a product of that. So it can't be in demo while we've gone through it and we've benefited tremendously. Abdulhamid, Dr. Abdulhamid is passionate about sharing opportunities, carrying people along, guiding them. So he is not a miser, he's selfless. Anywhere he see opportunity, he try to get it across to other people. And that's the attitude we want. Get anything, see anything, share with others. Dr. Saidu Abdulhamid, you have like 50 minutes, okay, to 1 hour to take us through the Commonwealth Distance Learning Scholarship application.
Okay, thank you, everyone. I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes.
Okay, so it's good to be here, and though I'm kind of nervous because this is a bigger audience than my usual LACUNAE, and LACUNAE is still in a demo mode, I keep on saying, because what we plan to achieve with it, we are yet to, but hopefully we are hoping we'll expand bigger than the number we have right now. So today we're going to be discussing the Commonwealth Distance Scholarship. One of the beneficiaries, which actually I learned the hard way because I didn't have any guidance. I was someone who, during the COVID-19 pandemic, I was bored and I was seated. So I was trying to think about, okay, how do I further my education while I'm still at home? So, and then I laid my hands on this scholarship and I was able to apply, and I did a lot of research around it. And by the will of the Almighty God, Almighty, I secured funding for Masters in Public Health, University of Edinburgh. So in 2021, after going through the hardship, I decided to open another small group, which is still in demo mode. That's the LACUNAE. And it's a group consisting predominantly of my friends. It was initially started with my friends, my colleagues, and then we started expanding, and we are reaching out to certain group of individuals, but hopefully we are going to open the group to ensure other people, to ensure diversity. So just like he made mention, my speakings might just be solely because I'm a healthcare professional, and most people in the LACUNAE are mostly doctors and health allied professionals. So, but This video can also cover, it doesn't matter where you are or which department, it's just for you to think in that same line and you'll be able to get whatever you are going to do. So just like Yushau said, he said a lot of things that I would have covered, but it's still good we know the whole truth. So for me, actually, I prefer the Commonwealth Distance Scholarship because this is an opportunity you get to participate in while staying in your home country. And most of us are on the field working, trying to make impact in real time, and also we are also continuing education. So and this MP8, this distance learning gives us that opportunity while we are still here, we get to achieve our goals and our professional. So some people have a misconception thinking, okay, the distance learning, you don't have to go to UK, that the certificates. The certificates for the distance learning, they all credit load and everything are all the same. The only difference is that for this distance learning, you get ample time. More like a program you're supposed to do probably for 1.5 years, you do it in 3 years. So you can continue doing your job, you get back, you do your assessments and everything. So it's also comfortable and it's time paced, but something that you get to be able to, and it's the tutors and the support system of this university, you get access to materials that even the people there have. So it's more like you are there, you have premium access to a lot of things. So those are the benefits, and the only downside is you might be lucky and you might not be lucky. In the sense like some university like my benefit, one of my progeny, Dr. Danmallan, he was lucky to have gotten educational and IT support from the university to enable him carry out his study. So but apart from that, so you can be in your hometown, you're just going to be considering using of your mobile data, and you have to try as much as possible to get a good PC and get sufficient data to be able for you to carry out your activities. So in order to make it a bit orderly, I would be looking at the questions if you have any questions or anything, you can just type it in the chat box. At intervals, I would just go through it and I will talk about it. So thank you, Mr. Yusuf Umar. It's just one of those things. We just think it's a way of giving back to our community, just like we talked about the developmental impact. So I will be sharing my screen. So I'll be using two devices here. These devices are going to be based on, I'm going to be switch swapping. So can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. This is the page of the Commonwealth Scholarship, which talks about how it's open and everything. And normally the Commonwealth Scholarships distance learning opens within February to March every year. So, and then as Yushau made mention, and this is the purpose of this scholarship is to contribute to the developmental needs of Commonwealth countries. So, and Nigeria is part of one of these Commonwealth countries, and these are people that their beneficiaries are for those who are willing to postgraduate students to achieve or acquire skills that are not ready in their own countries. So, but for someone, depending on you, a lot of us are working, you might not want to leave your family. So this is a very good opportunity for one to be able to participate. Then he made mention about the 6 teams. So these are the 6 teams of the Commonwealth Scholarship he was talking about: science and technology for development, strengthening health system and capacity, promoting global prosperity, and others. So one thing you need to know about these Commonwealth teams are they are all targeted towards achieving the 2030 Sustainable Developmental Goals. So everything you are thinking about this scholarship, because as part of the Commonwealth countries like Nigeria we all have markers or indicators, things we want to achieve by 2030. So this is about the teams. So then we'll talk about under each of these teams for this distance learning, there are courses that are here which per team. So for example, now for access, inclusion, and opportunity, we have 3 universities, and these are the courses that it offer: MSc Water Management for Development, MSc Clinical Education, Masters of Family Medicine, Master of Gerontology. And we talk about promoting global posterity, we have Responsible Tourist Management, International Development, that's the distance learning. We have Science and Technology for Development, we have Tropical Forestry, and so on and so forth. So like this also for global peace, we have global development, international human rights law. Then we have the strengthening health system and capacity. So far, so good. I don't know, they are favoring more of the medical people because this is, they have, of all the teams, it has much. So we have dementia, palliative care, we have epidemiology, public health for different individual universities. So we also have strengthening resilience to and responses to crisis. So this is the courses that they undergo in each of these universities. So one thing we need to put into cognizance is the difference between these common. So please, for the purpose of we are recording this, we are trying to minimize noise because other people will be watching. Please try and keep your mic muted. The question and answer session will be at the end, so and you'll be able to apply. So you'll be able to please ask your question, and if you have anything, just type it in the chat box. I'll look at it. So for me, I got Masters of Public Health in the University of Edinburgh. So once you go, you click on this link, it takes you to the university page. So, and then they tell you about how to apply and everything. So this is one phase of the application. So one thing you should know about the Commonwealth distance learning, one thing you should know about the Commonwealth distance learning is that it's in 2 phases. You have to apply for admission for the university, and also you have to apply for the Commonwealth scholarship. So applying for this, so let me answer. I think we have a question from Mr. Victor Daniel. Can you apply without your transcript? Yes, but no at the same time, because you can apply for it for the Commonwealth scholarship, but once you come to look for admission in university, no university would give you admission without your transcripts. So that is for the question. So so just like I told you, you have to go to each of the university there, they have their criteria. So I think let me just use a demo for, let me just use let me just use this so that we'll be able to carry out, to be able to go. So so just like I told you, this is okay. Let's go. Let's take maybe let's take another, maybe like for example, Liverpool School of Tropical Medicine. They would if you open it, they will tell you, and they will tell you here it has an entrance requirement. So this entrance requirement, you can see this is English taught and does not require IELTS. So if you are from an English scoring, but if you're not from an English scoring system, you have to provide IELTS. And then, however, please, the problem a lot of people look at, somebody just can come to this page and just see and just be like, there's no, sometimes you have to go and look at other lists of their English requirements, because there are some schools that accept WAEC. Do you understand? So like you can see this, there are different types of, and there are also their waiver program. So you have to go and check inside, because I can remember there's a school that even takes WAEC, C6 in WAEC, it's allowed also. So these are the kind of things we need to go, and you look at your criteria. Do you fit into this course? Do you fit into the program, the requirements? And then some people, they have some work experience. So these are things that would give you the advantage for you to be able to get this admission. Then your scholarship would then follow. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the Commonwealth Essay. So we would be going back to the site. So this is the site. So when you come to our application, they will tell you about, when you come here, they will tell you the further information. So they tell you, this is the overview. They will tell you how to apply. So, and they say you check for the list of universities which I've showed you guys here, and these are based on these teams. So, and then you see, just like I told you, you must check your chosen universities, their advice on when to apply, admission requirements and rules. So because you can get the scholarship, but if you don't make the rules of the university, you will not be able to get this application. So, but one thing about this application, it's very tricky because there are two deadlines. Because you must complete your Commonwealth application by 15th of March 2022. And you must submit your documentation by 5th April for you to be able to be eligible for consideration. What this means is that you have to complete the form on the Commonwealth website, and then this supporting documentation, it's for you to upload an admission letter from the university you have applied for on the desired course. So once you complete it, that will make you eligible for consideration. So, and you can see, for you to apply, you must get at least one reference. And then we have an offer letter. These are and the full transcript. So you can apply and leave it in full, but once it reaches that April, if your documents are not complete, you will not be considered. And they talk about the size and guidance. So please, you know, sometimes in Nigeria we don't look at. So please try as much as possible to respect the criteria or what they are asking you to do. It's very much important because you can upload the wrong document and it will not do. So these are the issue about the selection criteria, the scholar eligibility. You must be in a Commonwealth country. You must be permanently resident, hold a first-class degrees of upper 2-1. So, but here you shouldn't just see, some people see it, they'll say 2-2 cannot be. But one thing is that a lower qualification. So if you have 2-2 and you have a lot of field work experience, working in where you want to do, you can also be considered. And you have to be unable to afford to study the program without the scholarship. So we talk about the eligible country, and here is our beloved Nigeria here. So, and then we have the conditions which you should look at. And then there's a lot of rules, and you can make inquiries or send email. So once you want to apply, you can just click on the online application form here, and then you can create your page. So you can I tried creating a dummy account, but I wouldn't do that because but however, I will try and do, I think my description would just need, so it's just hypothetically because I took down the questions when I was taking this in order to, so this is where we would stop, then I would continue elsewhere. So let's just have like 5 minutes for a few questions. If you have a question, you can just raise up your hand so that I can attend to it before I move to the next part of our presentation. So before we go on, I think we have a question from Dr. Ibrahim I. Bashir. When is the scholarship due for application? I told you it's on 2 phases. One, that's the Commonwealth, is on 15th of March 2022. While uploading your document, that's your transcript, your admission letter, and your duly filled reference form, it's about on April 5th, 2022. So needing to pass IELTS is needing to pass IELTS is different because it depends on the university. Some university, because like for Dr. Danmallan last year, we were discussing with him. He didn't write IELTS, but he got, because the school he applied for, one of them, WAEC was accepted. So his WAEC was considered. So please, you have to check in all these schools and check their details. So, and he said, do you need to submit our result to West? West does the West evaluation for credential? No, not at all. You don't need to. This is direct. You just upload your scanned copy of your transcripts and it's going to be considered. And however, depending on your school, like some people might go to school that your transcript is in Arabic, you need a translation of that, your transcript. And also, please, your transcript has a grading system. The transcript has a grading system. So this grading system also is something that you should also scan and submit to them so that they can also look at it. So we talk about, he made mention about having formally applying for the Chevening scholarship. Yeah, the issue about this using Chevening, because most of them are not distance learning, so you have to apply all over again. And then probably you would get, if you can get admission from one of those universities and you didn't get sponsorship from Chevening, I am sure you would get from this one too. So, and then we'll talk about the issue about referees in my next presentation. So, a question from Yusuf Hamisu, someone with BSc microbiology have MPH or MSc public health. Sorry to tell you this, but the unfortunate truth is that it's in Africa we coin things, because in my class in public health, I have people from economics, social sciences, people that have never even done medicine. You understand? So you have the background, is in line of what you want to do. So it's a go. So I think we have someone raising his hand. Let's take a question from Shetima. Could you please unmute your mic and ask your question?
Good afternoon, Dr. Abdulhamid. Thank you very much for this, your very wonderful presentation. Sorry, can you hear me?
I'm with you, go on.
My question here is, for example, most of our universities in Nigeria, our transcript has a format in which it's not like most, especially those of us from the medical field, the transcript is usually maybe pass and what have you. Do they have a grading system for it? And secondly, what if you made mentions of schools that accept WAEC? What if, for example, if you have the WAEC, but usually maybe you didn't get it in one sitting, maybe you got it from 2 sittings. So how is that possible also? Thank you very much.
Okay, that's a question from Shatima. So let me just take your. Oh, so let me just run through it. So for like medical school, it's for people like us, it's something that, yeah, you see pass, you see CD, you see F, you see receipt. It doesn't matter, because honestly, I had F's on my transcript, but I got what I wanted, because I told you, if you have a significant track record or work experience, is valuable. You understand? So on the issue talking about having WAEC in more than one sitting, anywhere you have multiple documents that you need to do, you can scan them in pages. Do you understand? You can scan them in pages, because you can scan like 2-3 pages in one PDF. So far it doesn't exceed that limit, it's okay. So, and then the next question is from Fatima Mahmoud. Could you please unmute your mic?
Good morning.
Good afternoon. Good morning, sorry.
Okay, am I audible?
Yeah, I'm audible. We can hear you.
Okay, yes. I actually wanted to type, but I'm not familiar with this package and I don't know how to do that. So my first question is there an age limit to the application for either the master's or the PhD scholarship? That's my first question. The second question is, bearing in mind our peculiarity here in Nigeria, where some parastatals or even the government itself may try to look down upon online scholarships or long distance, online degrees or long distance degrees. So my question is there any way that the degree would actually reflect that the degree obtained was actually an online degree, or is it exactly the same as for an on-site degree?
Okay, thank you for your question. Okay, go on. Yes,
and lastly, sorry, I've forgotten the last question. Thank you very much.
Okay, so for your first question, actually there's no age limit for this scholarship, and secondly, you see, we need to grow past the phase of discrepancy or dichotomy between online learning and real-time learning, because sometimes I keep on telling people it's the skills that matter, is what you get that's here and to translate to your job. So be it online or be it not online, it's nothing. And even the universities too, there's no discrepancy because you also go for your graduation too. And your certificate is just going to be the same as the person who went there. So it's just for you or whatever you do. It depends on how you present it. But I just keep on saying the most important thing is for you to learn the skills and incorporate it to your day-to-day activities. So we'll take one last question. I think Yusuf Hamisu posted something, and probably I will just respond to your chats first. Then please pen down your questions. Would continue I want to continue with the presentation. We have like 30 minutes interactive session at the end. So just pen down your questions. Okay, so that you... So okay, hello, hold on, let me answer these questions. We'll continue, we'll answer the audible questions in the next 30 minutes, please. Let me just finish with the question and continue my presentation. Okay. So yeah, for Mr. Salihu Yakubu asked, so yes, the one other advantage of this Commonwealth scholarship, you can apply for up to like 5 universities and you can put all their documents. You can have first choice, second choice, third choice, and anyone you get, or you can even, I doubt you get multiple, but you can get one. Because like for me, I actually got my 4th choice, not my first, second, third. So, and then the issue about the recording, yeah, I think I would drop a link to my YouTube channel in the chat. So please just, you can join or subscribe. Once I upload the video, I will upload the whole video for the whole session, in which you can share with other people who are not here to benefit, so that people can try to create the awareness and be able to go and apply for the courses there. So it's going to be uploaded on my YouTube channel. I have a channel I upload most of this, my scholarship application processes I've done. So, and then Mr. Marcus Matthew asked a question, trying to know which field would be suitable for someone with BSc architecture. So for someone like me, that would take me to have to go and sit down and do some research on the whole teams and everything. But I just feel like most of these courses, there are certain things that can blend with your own. So it's for you to take time and just go through these courses that are there, and it should be in line with what you want to do. Don't go and do something just because you want an opportunity. Something that is going to be important to you, something concise, because bringing in something parallel to what you do or what your storyline is, it's something that might just push you on the other edge. So the host is raising up his hand, so let me listen to him. Mr. Danmallan, please.
Please, if you are done with this question, I just want to emphasize some point, part of the answers you gave, so that I will address them here before moving on. If you are done with the questions here now.
Okay. Okay. Please. Sorry, Mr. Moderator. Let's get with the presentation so that we can have the long interactive session at the end, so that we don't bore people, because people are going to use this recording, so that they have to get the information. Then anyone that wants to see, because we can even leave the interactive session to even go exceed an hour or something like that. You understand? So this is that is what we are going to discuss about. So please, with your permission, Mr. Moderator, can I?
Please go ahead, no problem.
So I'm going to be sharing from another of my documents, so I might be looking down, but because I'm going to be using my tablet to present, so that we'll be able to have a kind of like hands-on. So can you all see my screen? I couldn't prepare a PowerPoint presentation, actually. So what we're going to be discussing now, I made a checklist of what is entailed for the Commonwealth Distance Learning Scholarship. I call this a document this is a document checklist. This is for it to guide you to know what you need. So first thing first, you need your international passport, because it's a very valid identification document which you have to source to present for you to be able to even write your IELTS, and it's even a document that you need to present to the universities before an admission is given to you, because this international passport has a unique code of an ID which can be used to search, and they can try as much as possible to get your details from the Nigerian database. So it's a very important document, and you can source it from the immigration office. So, and we have the next thing is the next thing we talk about is the academic transcript. So this academic transcript, on the other hand, it's a document you retrieve from your university, which states your grades from your beginning to the end of the university. And I told you, as you are getting this document, please, there's a grading system which is also attached, so that they will tell them, okay, this is how it does. It has a breakdown. And I told you, if your transcript is not in English, for those who might have schooled in maybe Russia, or you schooled in the Arabic countries, you have to get a translated document of your transcript to upload. So, and the university certificate is just your university certificate with your document, just like but the degree you have, the BSc or whatever you got, you can just put it there. So we talk about the IELTS and the English proficiency certificate. However, for the Commonwealth scholarship, it's not a prerequisite for you to write the IELTS. But for the university admission, you have to write the IELTS. But personally, from experience, I would tell people something, that dodging the IELTS is going to be detrimental for you. So it's better you prepare and write the IELTS, because the English you are running from is the English you are going to go and learn the masters there, and you are going to start from zero if you don't learn the English and the vocabulary early. So I advise, even if you have done this, even if you have gotten this opportunity to get a scholarship, try as well, just write the IELTS, try to learn vocabulary, try to learn how to write essays, try to learn, improve your speaking. It helps you, because this is what you would find yourself doing and everything. So also, we talk about the academic CV or resume. This is entirely a different type of CV, because a lot of us, our CVs, especially sometimes you see somebody's CV very scanty. You see somebody who write his CV in just a few pages, not even in one page. So you need to understand that once you are writing for consideration, you have to write with the right font, with the right line spacing, with the right data and documents. So, and just like I told you, one cheat point that would puts you ahead of a lot of people in this scholarship is your CV, because your CV is going to consist, I would just show a thematic diagram of what is expected from your academic CV at that point in time, and what you then we talk about the personal statement. This personal statement, I will talk briefly about it, but like for those that were in those in my demo group, I think we had almost like a day presentation on personal statement. We had a day presentation on academic CV. We had a day presentation on the recommendation letter and also the Commonwealth essay. But due to the nature of our presentation, this is just to create enlightenment. And I don't know, maybe subsequently or maybe further recommendations we might review or see if another session might be necessary just to do discuss those. Then we'll talk about recommendation letter. For me, this is the most important document there, because if you don't have the right recommendation letter, you will not get it. And this issue about recommendation letter is very, very important, because you are not the one uploading the person's recommendation letter. But however, recommendation letter for this scholarship, you have to do it 2 ways. One, they would send an email to who you put as your someone who is going to recommend you. The person is going to fill and send back to them. That's one. Secondly, you need also a PDF or a Word document of a recommendation letter from that person, because most of those universities, you would have to upload a recommendation letter. So those are the two phases. So someone asked the question, whose ideal is to be a referee? Honestly, the best referee is someone who has your best interest at heart. Because no matter how qualified someone is there to be a referee, if he is not available at that time to provide that information that you need, then it's as good as no referee. So, and then we'll talk about the Commonwealth Essay proper. So, based on this, we have talked about the themes here, and I wrote them here. So, and these themes, we talked about this 6 of them. So, and these themes are very important, because these are the themes that would have to reflect in your personal statement and also your Commonwealth essay proper, because it's very important, and then it has to be in line of the sustainable development goal tied to that topic, and to ensure that your work or whatever you're doing, it's in that same context. So, and then the questions for this Commonwealth essay proper, I don't know if you can see what's beneath here. Can you see what's here? Can you see the 4 questions there?
Yes.
Okay. For me, actually, I'm speaking from the Commonwealth distance learning aspect. So the questions you are expecting, the questions you are expecting here is for you to go to this under the distance learning. These are the 4 questions you expect. Then your personal statement, then your relevant document you might upload. And so the first question is how your proposed study relates to 1A, that's the developmental issues at the global, national, and local level. So, and one thing I want you to take note is that most of these things have word counts. So you have to be very, very careful. You have to obey. You know, sometimes some people just write anyhow. You understand? And you have to economize your word. Don't go in cycles. Some people will write something in paragraph 1, in paragraph 3, they are still writing in another, they are paraphrasing what you have to write distinctly. So, and you can see the question talks about global, national, and local level. So you should expect that you should talk in 3 concepts. And you have to talk about development issues connected to your chosen CSC team and the wider sector. So this is the first question. The first essay, I think, is about 300 or 250 words. Then the second question they ask you, how do you intend to apply your new skills and qualification when you return home? So this question is something you have to pen down your idea and what you want to do. Here they are saying return home. Okay, I think this was someone's own that I reviewed for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, and I think he's also on this chart, he's also on this webinar. So, and then They also talk about what you expect in the change of development terms following your studies, outcome that you wish to achieve, time frame for implementation, who the beneficiaries of this your studies will be. And they also ask you how the impact of your work could be best measured. So these are questions you should put at the back of your mind right from inception if you want to apply for this scholarship. You should sit down, you should pen your ideas, and you should be able to discuss what you want to do. So next year we'll just talk. So here we're just going to, this is just like the basic about everything. Then we're just going to talk a brief about the academic CV. So at this academic CV, I told you, is different from the normal. I think the CV are divided into two. We have the academic and the professional CV. So for scholarship, this is for work and this is for academics. So the difference between these two here is, sorry, I'm writing CV, curriculum vitae. Some places you see they write resume. So they are all the same thing. So the difference between these two is how you manifest or present in the hierarchy of importance. So for the professional CV, you might sit down, write more about your work experiences and everything. But for academic, you have to start talking about your research, probably your dissertation you have carried out. You have to talk about things that are related. Do you understand? So, and then it has to be clear. And I always tell people for this CV, a simple thing you can just work on is you can just adopt the format, put your bio data up, and then you can put your summary. Then you can write about your academic publications or research, any of them. It doesn't necessarily mean here you can put your, even if it's your dissertation, it works here. You can put them, you can just line them on top. And then also you can write your academic qualification. And then after this, your academic qualification, you can put your work experience here. And then also you can also under this, you can put other certifications and training. So this is just like a theme of how you can do. So under this, you can also put the languages you speak. Do you understand? Maybe associations. And then maybe you can also write your volunteer experiences here. So this is just things that you can see, and you can see this is a structure which is totally different from the what they call it. It's totally different from this format. Sorry, let me see. I'm having people who are saying they can't join. Let me try and see if I can try them back to come inside. So this is how a simple format for this academic CV is. It's very much important to have this idea at the back of your mind when you are applying or putting the hierarchy of how you can arrange what you want to do. So, and then we'll talk about briefly, we'll just talk about, sorry, I have them in hard copy here, so I can't share my screen, so I just have to scramble through and then write what I can do. So one other thing we would like to write about here is about the personal statement. It's a good thing one should know what he or she is required when writing a personal statement. So one of the things you should take about is that you have to talk about, I always tell people personal statement is in 3 parts, 1, 2, 3. So it talks about your past, it talks about your present, and it talks about your future goals. So one good thing you should learn about writing is that you should learn to be organized. You shouldn't be haphazard. You should not go up, go down. You have to talk in sequence. Do you understand? So you can, in the past, you can talk about your background. You can talk about your previous academic / professional experience. You can also talk about your relevant exposure. So even if you see this relevant exposure, even if you are not in that course or that thing, you can talk about what dragged your interest or what brought you there in your past, and you can talk about your area of interest. So this, why I'm putting all this here is for you to be able to go through and look at it, and this will be able to guide you. It will guide you in the sense of that once you're brainstorming, you can say, okay, these are what is expected of me, and this is what you should do. So, and the present here, you talk about why you're applying to the college. Why you're applying to the university, that's number one. And you talk about your motivations again. And motivations for professionals or academic. And then you talk about why you are applying. Why are you applying for the course? And for future goals, again, you talk about your future career goals. And then you talk about probably your proposed, sorry, my handwriting, I don't know, maybe multitasking, and my handwriting is losing touch. Talk about the proposed research area. So this is just the thematic areas you need to look at when you are writing your personal statements. It's very, very, very much important. And I have, so those are just the questions you are supposed to be able to streamline your personal statement or your CV in that direction. So this is what your personal statement should look like in that question. So let me just address some questions in the chat box before I move forward. So I see. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's see. Okay, okay, someone asked about my YouTube name and the social media handle. Okay, I would share them before the end of the. I'll share them before the end of the presentation, and then I would include them at the end of the presentation. Then we talk about does not mean if you do not have IELTS. No, I did not say if you don't have IELTS. I'm just trying to tell you that you have to learn this thing. A lot of people are dodging IELTS because of English. A lot of people are scared of English. So, but the question is with English you are going to learn. The English is not like the English we learn here. You understand? Because even your assignments or exams, your grammar have to be intact. So it's just like a stepping stone. You can get admission, you can get the scholarship without IELTS, but you would have to learn English along the program. Because I could remember in my year one, I had to take a lot of courses on academic development, how to write academically, how to do a lot of different things just to even add and to help you build a vocabulary to be able to carry out your things. So, and thank you, Anjorin A, for trying to respond to a question made by Marcus. So, and then Faisal Kurfi made a comment, talked about the academic CV, can one use? Yeah, you can have it. That's why you have, it's a dissertation, of course. You write the topic there, and you write the year, and you write your university. So, and then, so they say you can demonstrate how your undergraduate work or the experience volunteer blend with it. So, yeah, just like I told you, it's just based like how I gave you in this structure here. I told you past, present, and I told you this relevant exposure is what pushed you to be able to understand. If you're even from another field, you are cross-cutting, this is where you have to make a statement there. And then, yes, so it's just like, okay, yes, thank you, Mr. Anjorin A. And then someone asked, can the NIN be used in place of international passport? I'm afraid the answer is no. Because up till now, NIN has not been standardized. It has not been standardized for now, but the international passport is what's universally acceptable, and then is to just try as much as possible to source yours if you're interested in the scholarship. And then there's someone is asking this Commonwealth scholarship. It's mostly for postgraduate students. No undergraduates have no. Most all the Commonwealth scholarship are for postgraduates. So if you're undergraduate, you can try as much as possible to create a story, because you would actually need a story of impact, story of excellence, and it gives you that chance to even without getting working experience post-graduation. So, and I usually told people that if I could take the hands of time back, probably I would have applied when I was doing my house job. At least by now, probably I would have finished. So it's just a matter of exposure, and then we try to do this. So, and then before we go, I think the last thing we want to talk about here, it's about the recommendation letter. So this recommendation letter is very, very, very important. I told you it's something that you have to get someone who is going to be there, because emails are going to be sent. And once you give someone, the irony about the Commonwealth is that once you put someone's email and he doesn't recommend you, if he recommends you, they will send you a mail that so person has done it for you. So you can imagine telling someone to fill recommendation form and they have sent it. Immediately you put his email, it will be sent to him, and he doesn't get to reply, and then the whole deadline goes. So it's very, very much important. And a big mistake I was doing in the past was that I was trying to look for the most senior people to recommend me and stuff like that. But honestly, trying to get another person to get someone who, it doesn't have to be like from those in the medical field. I say it can be your medical director, it can be your registrar, it can be your teacher. It doesn't even necessarily mean it has to be the highest prof or anybody. You understand? Someone that who they send will be able to fill the form extensively and be able to give feedback on who you are. You understand? And what you really need to do. So, and then the issue about someone, Shamsuddin posted, yeah, I know of the updated international passport, because like mine is the old one, the NIN is not on it. So, but even now, if you want to make the new passport, you have to submit your NIN. So it's just that passport. And failure to mix any of this, get any of your documents complete, would put you a chance behind. Do you understand? Because just like I told you, this is something competitive. So you have to try as much as possible to fill in the gaps. You should not be found wanting, because if your document is not complete, they won't waste your time on you. They will move to another person. Nobody will call you or send you to put any other document per se. So I think at this juncture here, I would end my presentation, and I would allow the host actually was actually, sorry, he was my lab rat. I'll use the word because we are science people. The host is actually my lab rat, which I decided to test my experience, because I learned I decided to, I invited him over to join my group, and I mentored him. I reviewed his essays countless times, and he was able to secure, he became a 2021 Commonwealth Scholar in the University of Dundee, Masters in Infection Prevention and Control. So it's more of like, I'm happy because my hard work paid and the time I invested on him. And hopefully we are working with a bunch of few people. I have a larger cohort of people. I'm working on them and working with their ACEs this year. So we're going to still see, and then we would also try as much as possible to see if we can mentor more people to come to the side in which we can be able to be reviewing essays for our own people. So thank you very much, and thank you for having me here. I would join you with the question and answer session. So the host, please, you are a beneficiary. You are someone who have forefront experience from me here, so please take a few minutes and then share a good will message and then encourage our fellow individuals. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Abdulhamid. It's quite enlightening, rich presentation. And it's still not enough. People have to go and do their homework, search for more, ask more, and then if time permit, we'll still have some other sessions to address other areas. Like he mentioned, I may like to share my experience quickly. At least that's very practical what I went through and how I got it. Some people may have some inspiration from there, and then try to avoid some difficulties we pass through. But then before then, some of the questions that were answered in the first question and answer sessions, someone asked of the WAEC like in two settings. They don't matter. Okay, what they are looking for there is the WAEC and NECO if the university accepts your English, if it is for the English. So the one that has the highest score in the English, I think that's what you use. But for the other one, if it is as in for your requirement for the postgraduate, as in O level, that I really don't know. But you try to use the one that has the best combination that will fill in the gap. But mostly, sometimes they don't even need your O level. It is the undergraduate I know that they usually look for. That's what I know. I wasn't asked of any O-level results there. Then for applying without transcript, please, if you don't have your transcript yet, go ahead and start applying. Okay, you have up to 15 March to finish the portal application, the Commonwealth, and then up to another 3 weeks, April 5th, to get this transcript uploaded. So start apply, but then you make sure that you get that transcript before then. And then you also remember that the university will need the transcript, so you have to get it as soon as possible to them. They will give you admission before April 5th for you to do it. Whatever you don't have now, don't allow that to deter you. Apply and keep pushing for what you don't have. And then for those that also ask of the IELTS, if you don't have IELTS, should you not apply? No, please apply and then work on getting the IELTS. If you don't, couldn't even get the IELTS, okay, check the university that can give you other options like WAEC and NECO, or they will accept your waiver. I'll share that when I come to my experience, how I bypass that. And then the applying with scheduling admission, like Dr. Ibrahim asked, you can still, if the universities that are allowed by the Commonwealth Scholarship Distance Learning, if you have admissions from them, if you the admission you have, the university is still on the Commonwealth universities, why not? You can still apply. If they are not there, look for new admissions from the universities that are eligible currently, and then your Chevening scholarship, keep that admission. In fact, even if they write you that you should pay or you start studies, apply for deferral. Let you defer that admission and keep it, so that the next cycle of admission of Chevening, you don't need to look for another admission. You just apply as soon as the application opens. And this goes generally for any scholarship. Once you know the admissions, the schools that the particular scholarship commission wants, you get the admission before. That's what some people do. You get the admission ahead of time. Okay, if I know that next year I will be applying for Commonwealth scholarship, and I will start getting the admission this year, I will keep them. The UK universities, these universities are not like Nigeria university. You can just defer. Okay, you defer to next year. And then next year, as soon as it opens, you have bypassed that waiting to apply to university and wait for their admission for you to apply. So get those admissions ready for the next cycle of Chevening scholarship application, and then check if they are still among the Commonwealth universities and courses. If then you apply, if not, please apply for new ones. And then the best referees, they will actually ask for academic referee, professional referee, or general referee. Some will ask for academic, some will ask the combination. I know some are like Edinburgh ask for academic and then professional. Academic, someone undergraduate or master that taught you, and then for professional, your employee, supervisor, others, and then general, someone from the community. I got people from all these categories to write for me. And then for those, someone asks architect, can he, or which ones are available for him? And then someone also replied, good answer, that someone that had civil engineering degree and then went on to for masters international public health. You can cross over. What is needed is you should have sufficient experience and passion, and prove that, okay, I had my degree in MBBS degree, but then I now want to cross over to public, to something outside, even arts. I want to cross over to music. If I have sufficient experience, why not? You just need to justify, communicate. Okay, this is my background, but now I have this. I want to switch over to this particular area, and then I have that passion, and this is what I did, my track record, what I have done so far in that area. You can get it. Okay, and then on the question why you will answer the essays, why are you applying to this university or course? Where you get the simplest answer is on the university website. Is it MPH, University of Manchester? Go there. You have the information there. You will get the information and paraphrase and write it. You've seen the courses, these courses, you will learn this, and then why are you applying to this university? You go to about the university, get its history, okay? Why is it so famous? Why it's, what is its ranking? You mentioned that. So this did briefly, we have the answer question and answer sessions. So I will just use maybe 2 minutes to tell about my experience. I chose distance learning scholarship because that is what will allow me to work, do my residency, working, studying, and then I will also get the master's degree that I want. In addition, I've already started another master in public health here. So I want another area to get. So that is flexibility of distance learning. Especially our females. Some people will not, even with every opportunity, they may not be able to travel. So take advantage of the distance learning. And then some people are into their business, working, studying, they can't move. So use this opportunity. And then once I know that, okay, distance learning is what I want, and it's Commonwealth distance learning, I look forward to the next year, to opening of the cycle of admission application. And then contacted him. What I did, I went to the whole admission processes. Okay, personal statement. I went to Google, search, YouTube. How do you write all these things? Jotted. And then all the essays. How do I use Google, YouTube, search, get your experience. That way it's better, instead of just asking somebody, okay, how do I write a personal statement? It's good, you can still do that, but then take advantage of this technology. You can get any answer you want. When you get something tangible, you have your draft, then you can talk to somebody to look at it and then ask further questions. But in this age, I think there are many questions that are asked which are not supposed to be asked. You just go and get all the answers you want. You get the guidance, and then you have one-on-one on someone. So I started my application with 2 deficiencies. I didn't have IELTS, and then I didn't have my international passport was expired. 2 things that I needed. So like Abdulhamid mentioned, it would be detrimental without that IELTS. Gaskiya. And it cost me a lot of other options. I got admissions, Edinburgh, about 4 admissions that I couldn't use because it was provisional, it was on a conditional offer. I had to submit that IELTS. So luckily enough, I was lucky to get Dundee to accept my WAEC. On their requirement, they mentioned that for Nigerians, they can still submit their WAEC if they have good score in English. In fact, not even good score, C5, while I have my B3 there. So I just uploaded it. I was lucky. That one, all the other admissions, Manchester, Edinburgh, I must submit my IELTS. But one accepted me, and then luckily I was given. And then for international passport, I uploaded my national ID card, which was expired, but still accepted. So these things are tricky. You should not try to get your full options. But then if you don't have everything, don't allow that to deter you. That's the essence of this. I'm not saying that you should not get them, but then they will limit you. But then even if you don't have any particular requirement, please go ahead and apply. You may still be lucky. But then you see, this year, the University of Dundee is not even in the list. So those the WAEC and NECO, one option is out. So please try to do this WAEC, this test of English IELTS. Try. That is why immediately after I got that admission, I still said I must get this IELTS. I wrote my IELTS and got my good score. Even if I didn't need it, because I learned that will be limiting in a lot of things that I want to do. And then luckily, even after getting the IELTS, I got another scholarship, another short course scholarship, like certificate scholarship from University of London School and Tropical Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, pandemic short course. So at least that 80,000 now, I've gotten another scholarship worth 2 million naira. At least it was spending on the airport and the money. So please get your IELTS as soon as possible. Even after this cycle of admission, you couldn't get it. Get it. Gaskiya. If not, all these petitions you see around the sauransu, kawai kaje ka samu wannan test din ka zama too much ready. So I will now go on with the question and answer session. There are a lot to be said, so we will not have that much time. I see Dr. Abdulhamid raising his hand. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you for your experience. Just to counter what he has said, for me, please get all your documents ready. These slots are competitive, and I'm telling you, it's scaling down, because in 2020, there were more than 50-something courses, and now it's scaling down. So I would try to tell people, please do not joke with it. Get the right document, apply, because he might be lucky, but not necessarily you might not be lucky. So, and then the issue about going for the test score, I normally tell people that, honestly, for me, if I told people my experience, I wrote IELTS, as in I was on transit, I was traveling, I just went to go and I couldn't go and read for the exam, but I wrote it, but I got a score. So I decided, okay, this is something that, because most universities don't expect much from you, at least a band score of 6.5, 7.5, you're okay. You don't really need much. So, and it's really worth it if you really want the opportunity. And a lot of you might not know, so I think maybe we should just inform you. The worth of this scholarship, it's about £18,000. So you can and pounds in black market is 850. So you can do your calculation, because when I got my own, it was around 22 million. So this is something that you would have the learning, you get the knowledge, the world-class knowledge. So please try as much as possible to say one or two things. So before we start the question and answer, I would like to ask permission for the group if we have that. By the nature of I think a lot of people have a lot of questions they want to ask, so we're going to please hold on. One of the presenter wants to say a word, Sunais, so we're going to give him the floor. So once he's done, I would moderate the question and answer session pertaining the issues on the distance learning, and I would get support from Mukhtar, Danmallan. So, we are hoping to still invite Sunais when the fellowship and everything come to also have a group course in order to try as much as possible. And then we will try as much as possible to foster relationship between the LACUNAE and Readers Hub so that we can be providing this online webinar together. At least that way I would have a lot of support from, because they have been very helpful and this wouldn't have been possible without their effort. So Mr. Sunais, the floor is yours. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you very much, both doctors, Dr. Danmallan and Dr. Abdulhamid. I wanted to, recap a little on the application process, not just a little technique that will help the applicant to, that will help them to achieve the application process entirely. So first thing that you need to do, make sure that you sign up. And why signing up is important is that they used to send a reminder message. So if you relax and it is 2 weeks for application to close, you receive a reminder and it will motivate you to do more. And then secondly, don't just answer the question directly. I think you should go and copy all the essay questions. After you copy your essay questions, you then answer them like offline, maybe using Microsoft Office. Maybe question 1, you get the question and you get the number of words that are needed. If they say 250 words and you have 250, you can't even go further. You will not be able to submit. So it has to be 250 below. So get each question and the number of words per the question offline. Answer the question and then try to get someone to look at your question. Maybe you can meet anyone who have secured the scholarship earlier to look at your question to see how your questions are responded. And then answering these questions, Nigeria, most of us here in Nigeria, we have the mentality of responding questions academically because we are already used to, define, explain, discuss during examination in our studies. So we respond to a lot of questions like that. But actually, this is kind of different. They are trying to understand you in person. What have you done? What are you doing? And what do you want to do? So it's you that they are evaluating, not in person, not what you are saying, not the content of what you say. So you need to express it like you need to be realistic about it. You need to do it just I don't know how I will put it in English. Just express yourself. For example, something that you have done, say it like you are giving a story. Okay, I attend so place and I went to this place. I have done this during this time of period. I have done that, and now this is what I'm working on. Just like a story. I think it will make things a whole lot of easier for you to respond to that essay questions, because as I mentioned earlier, and as the doctor said, that statement and that statement, and then the personal statement and those developmental impact side, they are one of the key. In fact, these are the things that will scale you from little experience. And then the recommendations too. Unfortunately, I was a victim, so none of my referee made recommendation. None, all of them, none. Because where I informed them, but I didn't follow up to make sure that they have sent the recommendation. But I was lucky that my personal statement and the developmental impact area were good. So I was contacted that I'm selected, but I don't have recommendation. So please, I should contact my referee to send the recommendation letter. So I think those three things as mentioned are very, very important. But I'm emphasizing a lot about that developmental impact area. Please, one need to express himself very, very, very well. And experience, I think there is another calling for leadership experience. That is also, another important, very important aspect of the application. So don't undervalue any leadership experience that you have, whether you have been a monitor, you have been an assistant monitor, you manage a 3 groups of people. It counts. All those things count. Don't undermine them to think that it's just an assistant monitor or it's just a monitor. All those things count, because I've actually put everything, including some WhatsApp groups that I'm managing. I put all those leadership experience. Yeah, and I was lucky. I was lucky to get it. So you see, the last year which I got my fellowship, 29 people were selected globally. Like 29 people, only 29 people globally. And I don't have recommendation. And you can see I was lucky to be part of the 29, even though my application is incomplete. They talk so much about my developmental impact area, of which when the fellowship started, if I'm to share experience, I will come with the responses I have, so that we see it. We might even want to use it to develop further from what we have interest in doing. So thank you very much. That is what I just want to add.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yushau. That's very, very, very important. But I think one thing I always tell people, some people might just be scared. Okay, these are essays you need to write. Honestly, please don't lie. Just be honest. It's one thing. If you get, you get. Because no matter how you lie, I believe everybody here is just for you to streamline your professional or academic experience for it to be able to fit perfectly into this scope and what I'm talking to tell you. So, I think one of the hosts has his hands up so that I can have him before we start the question and answer session. And please, just like, Nigerians have the habit of overdoing things. We are sharing your experience, but honestly, I was honest with because it was things that I did. Some people might want to overdo, but please mind, you have a word count. If you overdo and the main point you're supposed to point is at the end and you chop your word count, work done is 0. So, and I always try to advise people from my own personal experience, if I'm trying to brainstorm for ideas, I normally pen them down on a paper, as in I can just keep the idea. I'm writing this essay, anything that comes to my mind, I write it on a paper. I write everything. And I think even just to even show you, this is, I think I have a copy of the first paper I did in 2020. It's just like a paper here. Let me just show the camera. So this is just like a simple paper. I did it in my diary. I had to photocopy it. I wrote all the questions and I started writing my ideas down. Then one day I decided to sit down, okay, let me start writing my essays. All my ideas I want to capture in my essays are there. So these are the most important things that you guys should try as much as possible to put into consideration while you are making your essay. So we're going to commence the question and answer session now. We have, so if you have any questions, you can please put up your hands. I would be calling your name in a hierarchical order so that you can be able to ask your question in real time. And I think there's also a question in the chat box. Someone asks about, that's Abubakar Sadiq Abdulhamid, talking about the best or the accredited institution to undertake IELTS. So, I told you Nigerians, we always skew things. A lot of people will go to, there are 2 IELTS institutions in Nigeria, IDP, that's the mod IELTS, and then the British Council. I know people that are passing British Council, I know people that are passing MOD. You understand? So I cannot tell you, but all these exams are all the same. The exam for the dates are all the same. And the only thing that might be different is the examiner that will take you probably your speaking exams. You understand? So that is just the difference. So anyone that suits your purpose, you can ask any of those question. So Mukhtar Danmallan, do you have anything to say before we commence the question and answer session?
Yeah, I think we might only have 3-4 minutes to one, and we would like to finish before one so that time for prayer. So maybe respond to those that we can get in 3 minutes, and then we may decide to have a follow-up engagement.
No, what we are going to do here, I think, I don't know, I would post an email address on the screen now. So anyone who has any further question posts the presentation can reach out to us, and we will discuss, and we will try as much as possible to share response to them afterwards because of the time factor. So this is just my personal email, so you can just email me Saidu @gmail.com. I might not reply you early, but it's still a way of contacting me. And sometimes some people, you can search my name on LinkedIn and you can send me a message. I think I would reply you, inshallah, if I see it in good time. So this is just so, and once we just get your questions, we will still probably in the comment section and if we are in the comment section on the YouTube channel, we might be posting those questions so that people can also learn from those kind of things. So the first person whose hand is up here is we have from Saifullah Atahir. Go on, you can ask your question. Unmute your mic.
Maybe he's not close by.
Yeah, so in absence of that, I think he's the only one raising his hand. So probably people understood or they did not understood at all. Okay, we have Shetima raising his hands. So go on, Mr. Shetima, we can hear you. So I think so far so good. There's no further messages, and everybody's hands are dropped. So I don't know. The host, can we host? I think maybe probably you can give us. Okay, Saifullah Attar, unmute your mic.
You know, the low response it has to do maybe with the prayer time. People maybe are on
Yeah,
the
I can see.
Yeah.
Someone is trying to ask. Hello, can you hear me?
Saifullahi, are you there?
We can't hear him. So I don't know. I don't know how we're going to do with this. So even as at that, so we can't. Let me just post here.
So can you hear?
Yeah, is that Mr. Saifullah? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Hello.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, I'm Mutasefullah Atayim.
Okay.
Yes, I'm Mutasefullah. I'm calling from Jigawa. I'm calling from Jigawa University. My question is that this Commonwealth scholarship, is it available for even? My question is that this Commonwealth scholarship, is it available for even graduate students?
I told you this because of most this scholarship are for people who yes. So Mr. Danmallan, I think we can call this meeting to an end. So you can give us a closing remarks. If there's any follow-up or anything we are planning to do, we would try as much as possible to communicate earlier so that people would have the opportunity to participate.
Yes. So Alhamdulillah, thank you very much, Dr. Abdulhamid and Sunais. We thank you all. We thank the readers of the LACUNAE, and we are grateful for this. Also, inshallah, to the various platforms. And then we'll also discuss on the need for further engagement. Please, my last word will be call to action. Please go and start doing something today. Go and start doing something today. Start the application, both the university and the Commonwealth quota. Please do that, and then make sure that you get all the requirements. So thank you all for coming. Lastly, Abdulhamid.
Yeah, I want to just share one word to people here. I think this should be my own closing remark. This is just a clarion call for you to be awake, to be woken from your slumber, to tell you that there are a lot of opportunities lying out there. And just like I told a lot of people from the LACUNAE last year, there are a lot of people I told them they didn't have complete documents and everything. But this year they are ready. I told them you don't need to rush. You understand? It might not be now, it might be tomorrow, but you should have a plan. Do you understand? So a lot of them are ready, and I think there was someone, I think we reviewed his essay, but due to he couldn't submit his transcript, we couldn't pass his essay. But this year we are still working, we are back. So it doesn't matter when or how, but the most important thing is to have a conscious plan and effort to get what you desire. And just like Dr. Danmallan said, and I always tell him, make the first step. The first step is always the hardest, but make conscious effort if it's to try as much as possible to retrieve the checklist to see how you can get everything before that April 5th, so that you'll be complete. It's something. If you want to get your essays and everything across early, you can find a way and try to look at all these items. So thank you very much for coming. I feel honored to be here, and look forward to having maybe subsequent interaction session with the majority of you. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
So thank you all, and have a blessed day. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.